Hello there my friends, and once again welcome back. Here we'll go for another review. Now again, I don't know which one you picked what to see first. I have no idea as I recorded these on the same day. But if you picked this one, cool, here it is for you. If you didn't, well, hopefully you got to see the one you wanted to see first. If you didn't put it down in the comments, then whichever one you got is which one you get. But here we have the 501st Battalion Clone Trooper, the deluxe version. So obviously it has all three of the different helmets. Again, that would be the one thing that's like, which helmet will I put on the guy? Which style will I have him in? Which thingy will I have him in? It's like always left. It always makes it such a hard decision. But again, the front looks really nice. Really happy with that. You can see, the side. Oh no, what those boxes look like. It's time to sort of thingy. This is a shoe box style one, so we're gonna have to lay it flat in the light box to do that. So let's do that and let's have a look. I know I managed to do this one. There you go. So that's what the thingy looks like of it. Looks pretty damn cool. Again they've used the orange head. I haven't sort of showed you a different style to it. So which ones are you going to have on them as you open it up? It's actually the blue head. There you go. Anyway, guys, let's get out the accessories here, because you can see there's obviously going to be quite a few of them by the looks of it, because I think he's got quite a few weapons at the back of that there that you probably won't be able to see because of the light. So I'm going to get them all out, put them in the light box, and we'll show you the accessories you get with this guy. Now, accessories wise, guys, you can see, my god, there's a plethora of stuff here, especially weapons wise. You cannot go wrong. The only thing I would have said, hey, why isn't there a pistol type thing here? But because he's actually not actually one of the sort of commanders or anything like that, then maybe these guys didn't have the pistols as well, and maybe just did carry other styles of weapon around with them. But we'll start again as usual. You've got just a very plain style base with Star Wars 501st Battalion on. This time I've got the one that's actually spelt correctly, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have that one that was done incorrectly, but there you go. So it's there. You do have a dynamic flight stand with them, with of course the waist grabber, and it does have the foam on there. Not a massive amount of foam, but there's a little bit of foam on there. And of course we do have the actual extra wrist pegs, which comes as pretty much as standard. And then of course we do have some bombs. Now one of them is only like half a bomb. Now I don't know if it's supposed to be magnetized or not, to be able to stick this sort of something thingy, because I've tried sticking it to the back of the actual figure himself, which must have magnets in, just because this thing hasn't got anything on the back of it, which we'll take a closer look at in a second. But yeah, it's got some sort of details in it. You can obviously just pop it on the friggin' floor, but unless there's a place on them that you can store it. Again, like I say, I haven't even looked at the instructions. I never do. I only look at the instructions when if I think I need to or have to for any reason, like I did with a couple of my characters back in the past. And then of course you get this one, which again is a full thing of the bomb. Nice enough details to it. Looks kind of cool. So I'm quite happy to have those things. And of course it's just like, where do you start with all this stuff that you get with it? And no wonder they call it the deluxe version. I mean, Christ, there's just a plenty to look at. And here, I mean, look at this. The damage to it. It's seen better days. It's been through plenty. It's scuffed. Just the paint work to it is amazing. Even here, when you look at the top of this, it's not like just a plain white. There's a mottled style effect to it. Because it's been around a long time. It's seen plenty of action. That thing twists though, and yes, it can by the looks of it. I'm not sure if it can come out fully. I mean, again, yeah, I see, there you go. So it will pop out. I don't know why you would need it to pop out unless it's to fire this thing off. I mean, technically you could insert that thing and have it coming out, so that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, that's a cool little thingy. Which we'll have a look at that thing, the fire effect, properly in a minute. So it is cool that you can't take it out, you know. You just slot it back into place, like so. You see the battle damage to it, the weathering, the paint apps on it is just absolutely incredible. And like I say, it's must be magnetized, because there's no things like what you got with like the Boba Fett, which was awkward as hell to put on him. Yeah, so by it looks that's magnetized, but that is damn cool and damn good the way they've weathered that up and made that look. And I'm really sort of happy with that. You get two flame effects, both of them sort of slightly different in the way they've been made. This one has a more sort of orange at the top end and then goes down to a more sort of orange, opaque orange to it further down. It's pretty damn cool. And that one's sort of slightly less orangey at the top end of it, as you can see when you put them together. Yeah, which is sort of strange, but so cool that they haven't used exactly the same effect to date. So I think these are really well done. Yeah, it looks so cool, and obviously they'll fit into the bottom of there as well, so you could either have them taken off with that thingy, or you could put one into there and have that thing coming out as if he's firing off his rocket from the top. You also have the ability to put on a backpack. Yeah, you could have them with a backpack instead, so at least you're getting a choices, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool that you're getting choices. This thing does open up so you can put stuff inside of it, probably like the bombs and whatever. Maybe you can store your spare hands in there out the way. And it does sort of magnetize down. Not the strongest of magnets in the world, but it does magnetize down. And again, it has good paint effects to it. You know, bit damage and wear and tear there, which looks really good. And the paint effects look cool. So I think that's pretty damn good that you get the choice, because it does make a difference. You could buy 2 or 3 of these things and have different styles to them for each one, you know, because you've got plenty of bloody weapons to choose from as well. Yeah, so you like this one, looks like it's sort of the Gatling gun style effect, and it actually does turn, which is kind of sort of, it's a cool nifty touch, but it's also like pretty much like, why? Yeah, it's cool that they can do that. It's cool that they've got the innovation to do it, but like, it's not like it moves on its own. It's not like you could sort of have a battery in there and that's gonna turn on its own. You know, and if you're taking pictures, it's like, really, you're not gonna be able to tell that it's turning. Unless you had a picture like that, then you will run a picture there. But most people aren't gonna notice that stuff. But it's still cool that they did it. You know, it's cool that they've got that type of innovation on there. You know, there's nothing really sort of comes out there. I would be sort of careful with some of these things, because they do feel kind of sort of lackluster in the department of like, that's something that you'd have to hold on to, and I'd be a bit concerned about trying to put his hand sort of through. Well, you've got no really hands to grip onto it, I suppose. So, but it still just makes us feel like, you know, that could be snapped. You know, well, no, I mean, sort of the paint apps and that, oh, damn good. Yeah, it probably would have been nice to have sort of like a bluish effect around here, like it's been fired off quite a bit, but there isn't, you know, which is a bit of a shame. They go to the amount of detail that they've went to for the rest of the figure to make it sort of look like it's been through battling and stuff like that. You know, you've got this longer rifle again. You know, I mean, it would have been nice for it to sort of have a blue tinge and what have you, like it's been fired off quite a bit, and a bit more sort of weathering to it, because there seems to be, it's not a lot of weathering to it. And again, there's no sort of moving parts to it, because it doesn't need to be. You know, the type of rifle these things are, it's not like they have bullets in them. You know, Still a cool looking piece, and it's a long piece as well. I mean, that is like quite a nice little length to it. And then you have this one. And again, it's kind of sort of a cool nice look to it. You can see down the barrel again. It would have been nice to have that sort of touch. I'm going to see that on every one of them. You know, it would have been nice to have the touch of like the sort of the purplish or bluish colour to make it look like it'd been fired quite a bit. You know, because these guys were in the wars, and I think that's supposed to go that way by the looks of it. So I don't know why it's got such a length on that bit for. I mean, I'm only just sort of now starting to watch some of the Clone Wars things to get a better idea, because I just love the look of these guys, you know. So I'm starting to watch some of the Clone Wars now, the sort of animated series, in order thinking. Obviously, that looks like it's supposed to sit on the shoulder. He looks through that piece there. I'm not even sure how you would actually, if you could actually get his hand up and have that sitting on his shoulder to do that. But hey, if you can, then that would be a pretty cool look, I suppose. And of course, you have the normal blaster that they nearly always have. Yeah, it's cool. Does this one have the ability? No, you see, look, this is one of the things. This is what I can't understand. Is that supposed to be a bit that can go against his shoulder? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, you can. I suppose it could be used like that way. So you're sitting on that, like perching it on something like that. But I would have imagined that was supposed to go back and almost be used as a thing to purchase it against his shoulder type thing. Yeah, but the fact is that they never make it long enough to be able to do that, which is a crying shame. And they're sort of very soft. So I don't know how that would work out for it. And again, it's just missing that little bit of paint work on there, because the rest of it is sort of really nicely done. Yeah, and I'm loving all the fact that you get so much of a choice of weapons. It's like, which one are you going to have them with? Yeah, and then, of course, you've got the choice of helmets, which we'll have a look at in a second after we've looked at the hands. So the hands, again, sort of weathered on the back end of them. You get your pointing finger. It's kind of cool. Then you have the opposite, double finger pointing. Again, with the weathered effect on there. You have a thumbs up effect, which I think is kind of cool as well. Yeah, a little bit of a sort of a unique type thingy to that. Again, it's like you get so much of a choice. You get two trigger finger ones, so you can either left or right-handed, if you do so wish, because you get two of those. And you also get this sort of more open hand, maybe for just resting part of a rifle in. And of course, you get two hands on the character, which you will see soon. And then, well, the helmets. Again, just looking at these things, and it just looks so good. You know, war torn, battle damaged, been through its paces. You know, he's been out there, he's been battling. He's put the time in. Obviously, with this one, you're not getting any sort of head sculpt as such. You're just getting these helmets, which is cool. Yeah, it's a case of which helmet do you use. I really do like the look of this one. You know, I think it looks sort of really sort of mean and menacing type thing. But I don't think he's going to go with the rest of the clones I got, because I'm sure the rest of the clones that I do have, which there isn't many at the minute, use more of, because I think that's the phase 1, if I'm correct. These ones are the phase 2 helmets. So these ones, I think, is what you get with likes of Commander Cody, which I've got Commander Cody. You know, I have ordered Rex, so there is a Rex coming at some point eventually, when Sideshow get them in and decide to release them. But again, it's just like, if you look at the details to it, the weathering and everything, you know, it's so great to see so much detail into these things, you know, how good they can look. You know, it's amazing. It's just a case of picking which one of these sort of two helmets do I use. The chances are maybe it might have to be the blue one, just to go with Rex when I get him. But obviously Commander Cody, it is a different colour altogether again, because they were from different parts of it, but they work together on a regular basis, because I'm sure, like I say, I'm only in the first season of it, but I'm sure I've seen them both together, Cody and Rex, in some of them early ones, so, but I do like the looks of these ones, and that orange definitely pops, I mean, if you're looking at these two together, and you're thinking, you just think that orange pops, that orange is definitely a sort of a one that's going to stand out, but I do like the blue one as well, it's just one of those things, which one do I use, how do I dye them, does it make a difference? I mean, I suppose for me it's just basically going to be my choice of how I decide to dye it. But anyway, let's get out this clone trooper and see what he looks like, guys. Let's have a look at him. And here is the 501st Deluxe figure himself. This is the helmet that he arrived to me wearing, as you've probably seen when I started to do the unboxing. So let's pull this in and have a look at how he looks and what the damage and that is like on the actual figure itself. So as you can see, the chest piece is just really well painted. You can see all the sort of scuffs and damage, and the fact that he's been around and been in battle, and seen his fair share of the wars. Just makes them look so cool. I mean, if they'd just been plain like white and didn't have all these sort of scuff marks and things like that, you would just think, so why would you do that? I mean, you want them to look like they've been through the wars, like they've been in battle for a while, like they've seen their fair share of the troubles and strife of it all. You don't want them being clean, like they've literally just come off the production line. Especially as these were sort of people, these were clones, not anything other than that, But again, it's like, you just look at it all and you just think that these were all done by hand, guys, These aren't sort of, yes, the pieces are mass produced, but the paintwork itself, most of it will have been done by hand. There will be bits of it will be mass produced. It has to be, because a lot of them are exactly the same. Exactly the same. But it just looks so damn cool, and somebody's had to take the time out originally to make these like this in the first place before they've done anything more. You've got a split cut style boot, so you can get pretty good. I'd say it's not so much on the inward, but on the outstab you can get a bit of it, which is a shame, because you could deal with inward as well. You know what I mean? Because if that's the type of thing you want to do, so you might want to have them. Oh, it's on ratchets as well. That's fucking cool. So you might want to have them instep in that way. But that's good that you get a bit of range of motion on a ratchet, and it's quite a sturdy ratchet by the sounds of that. You will get some bicep or leg, thigh version. You can get good range of motion at the knee. Only sort of stopped by these type of things, which that's like a plastic, but like a different sort of plastic to this one. But it's still plastic, but you're getting a good enough range of motion there, and you've just seen how far you can get it out. Forwards wise, we're not going to expect too much because of the front thing here. That's not going to allow, but it does sort of move a little bit forward to getting, but you're going to get about there before it's going to get stopped. Back over, getting that, which gives you enough of a one for doing a walking pose if you wanted to do a walking pose, but you never get much thingy, because obviously you've got that bit on the back. But hot toys, you never get a range of motion going back out, it's just one of those frigging things with them. You're getting a bit of twist either way, so it does want to spring back a little bit, and you're not really going to get any forward or back motion as such because of the way the suit is. That's fine. You've got to sort of push that down as well, because it tends to want to ride up a bit. You can see already that's what you're getting out of it's pretty damn decent, you know. This is sort of, it's on elastic here, so not that you can actually see it there, but there, see, you can see it. It's on elastic, so it moves and gives you that free range to get the arm up nice and high. It's just cool. You just got to basically maneuver it to get it back down again, which is a bit of a, it's something to be a bit of a faff, but it's there. It has the range of motion to do it. You have a pretty decent bend at the elbow. You see it only again stopped by all the different parts in here. Mainly sort of these two bits catching is sort of stopping from getting any higher, but I mean that's pretty good range, because that means then you probably might be able to get that thing onto his shoulder. It'll be, I still think it will be pretty difficult to do, but you might be able to get it there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. You also see like the style of hand it is, that one you can fit a bomb in one of the bombs. You can actually put that into there and you would hold the bomb. And it's sort of, the both hands seem pretty similar, but it's definitely thingy, and you can see it's obviously, you've got your normal 1/6 wrist peg for that. You do have a butterfly joint. You can't really tell if it's got a bicep curl on it too much, I think, because of that thingy, but you have got some sort of motion there, like so that's pretty good. I'm quite actually thinking just how much range of motion you're getting out of this guy, considering the sort of style that he is, you know. And some of the stormtroopers you had a lot of bother getting much of a range of motion out, and this one you're getting a little bit more than what I thought you were going to get, which is kind of cool. I mean, looking down, I mean, that is sort of not bad at all. Looking back, you're not getting as much, but you're getting enough to sort of have them looking up at the sky, something incoming. Yeah, so head tilt, you're getting enough there to do the head tilt. Yeah, and obviously spinning, well, it'll spin completely around you. I mean, so you've got no issue with that side of it, and just see the head tilts forward, backwards, and everything else there. It's kind of cool. And you can see the character himself, he's looking pretty thingy, and he did, because you can see originally he was sort of standing up on that thing pretty good, which might help the fact that I'm actually in the house at the minute rather than in the man cave, where my man cave's in a slight angle anyway. I was saying, okay, so like, how do you pose this guy? What weapons do you have him with? Yeah, I've already sort of installed those things in the bottom of there, so we'll see how well. And you can see that's just the start, is a strong, sturdy magnet. You could hear, see, I can, you know, that is a pretty strong, pretty sturdy magnet. Give it a bit of a shake and it's not exactly coming off, so that's pretty good. I'll have that. I think it does obviously make him a bit more thingy for getting the stand. There, you know, he's still standing. It's just like the weaponry and what have you. Yeah, how do I do that now? What weapon do I have him on? Which helmet do I have on him? Let's have a look at one of the other helmets and see how that looks. There you go, guys. There's one of the helmets on, one of the guns in hand. You can see you can have him sort of kneeling right down. Not sure it's the best look in the world and what have you, but he's there, you know. You can tweak things a little bit and make it look a lot better than I have. It's just a quick sort of look at it, and like on his head forward. I'll see how that looking off to one side. I think he's ready to. You know, it is possible to get him in the kneeling position, which I didn't think would be possible. You would struggle like hell to do that with one of the Imperial ones, you know, one of the Stormtroopers. He has also, I've also put the backpack on this guy. So you can see he's got the backpack on as well. So again, it's like another look for him. Getting that gun into that hand was fucking hard. I mean, that was hard work, you know, and you have got to do it off the figure. You know, always take the friggin' hand, put the hand into the gun or the gun into the hand before trying to attach it to the actual figure. That's one thing I've learned through watching a lot of other people talk about it, and also from experience of trying to do it without taking it. It's always better to put the hand and the gun together first before trying to fit it. But that was a nightmare trying to get that damn thing in there. I mean, how the hell they made them so tight so that you can barely get them on, and they barely fit in properly. You know, it did take some manoeuvring to get it in there, but it is in, and it is in safely. And, you know, the chances are that might be the sort of the weapon I'll leave them holding. I did sort of have a look, because I did mention about this thing and how that sort of looks like something that would fit into the shoulder thingy, but there ain't no way you're going to have his hand on there and that on his shoulder, because it's way too narrow. You know what I mean? It's just way too short of a thingy, so there's no way that would work like that. So I don't know what that notch there is supposed to be for. Maybe somebody's seen it on one of the clone thingies and can let us know in the comments below, but there is no way that's going to go onto his shoulder and him get his hand up there. You know what I mean? I mean, look at that. You're talking about that is literally touching his shoulder. There's no way you'd get the hand up to there if that's supposed to fit over the shoulder. Yeah, and it sort of won't work going across his forearm because of the way the gun is. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't work across the forearm, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to be for. Yeah, because there's the actual fucking trigger, so it means it's not like it's that the sends a bit that's firing, because then the trigger would be the wrong fucking way around for that to be the thing that it's resting on. That would mean the trigger's the wrong way fucking around, you know, which would be a bit daft. So that I'm not sure of, but it's still a nice looking weapon. You know what I mean? It's still sort of a nice design and nice thingy to it, but I just don't understand how that's supposed to work. And of course I've got this one here, which again, yeah, is a really nice looking piece, but for me, that obviously that has to be where you fire it from, you know, which is then going to make it an awkward piece to grab a hold of. You know, it's thingy, so chances are I won't use that one. So it'll be nice maybe to have them freaking lying somewhere close to them, as if he's like, especially if you've got a few. I mean, obviously I haven't got the one, but there's a lot of people who've bought a few of them, so you could have a number of them carrying the different styles of weapon, or also have some weapons lying around them as if they're just the sort of, you know, they've laid the thingy to where they're going to stay, and they've got the weapons there ready so they can drop one weapon and pick up another one if need be. But yeah, that's one. We'll try the last helmet, guys, and then we'll go from there. And you've also got something like this for this helmet. You know, give him the thumbs up, so he's ready to go. Weapon just lifted in the air, as if he's walking along, sort of pretty much at ease. Just give him the thumbs up to one of the other guys. I mean, you could even put like sort of the finger pointing style ones on there. Like he's pointing at the guys, like, forward this way. You know what I mean? It's a case of what helmet and what pose. You know, again, guys, if you've got any suggestions, you've got anything, look in the description below. You'll see I'm on Facebook, and I'm in some of the Facebook groups. I'm also on Instagram. You can thingies on Instagram. Show us some of yours. You know what I mean? Like I say, I've got sort of a Rex on order, so he's eventually coming. I have got Cody in there, and I have one sideshow one in there. So it's a case of he'll just go with them for the time being. It's just a case of which helmet I put him in, how do I have him standing and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's a fucking cool thingy, mate, and I wish I'd managed to pick up some more, but they've gone up in price quite quickly. You know what I mean? It's one time they were sort of not too badly priced. Right now that you're kind of close to 300 quid, sometimes over 300 quid for these guys, and there's just no way I'm going to pay and buy sort of 2, 3, 4 of these guys at 300 quid or even 250 quid each. That's just way too fucking stupid. Not when I can get other clones and what have you when they come with, and other characters to go with them when they come with, you know what I mean? It's just, I couldn't afford to build them that way, but he does look fucking cool, and it would be nice to have more of them. You know what I mean? If they've ever come down in price and they shoot down drastically in price, then maybe I'll pick up a few more. so I can have a few of them with different helmets on and whatever. But I'm damn glad I managed to pick them up. I was, like I say, I wasn't going to bother with them. I wasn't thinking, yeah, I know there's two of them named troopers just being sort of released, but they're not going to come out for quite a while yet, so I'm going to hold off on those ones again, just because I'm not sure when I want to start building a clone army. I just do like these ones, you know. I do sort of fancy the idea of doing that, but it's a case of room in the man cave for them when there's other things I'd like to have as well. It's just, what do I do? Because I do like the look of these guys, you know. It's one of those things. But we'll find out as time goes on, whether I pick up more, or whether I end up getting rid of them eventually, or whether it's just a case of I'll stick with the ones I've got and just have those few and try and get an Ahsoka to go with them, or whether I'll put me, if I eventually get an Ahsoka, to put it with me Mando style. I mean, you can be able to put these with the Mando style stuff, you know. It just really depends on what I decide later on. But for now, I'm so glad I picked this guy up. You know, he's well sort of, for an initial one, to paying sort of the high 200s for him isn't too bad when you get as much gear and as many different styles as you get that you can swap and change out. It's just the fact is that most people won't swap and change stuff out that often once they get something that they like in a position they like and stuff like that. I'm not going to be one that's changing stuff around too often, you know. I'm just like not that type of guy. If I get a position that I like or a thing that I like, it'll pretty much stay that way, almost like it's a statue, you know. But I will sort of change and tweak things from time to time if I see the need, you know. If there's a picture, particularly a picture I want to get or something like that, then I'll change things up. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing it, which is the main thing for me. Please, guys, come back for more, you know, if you want to. It's always a pleasure to have people there. Comment below. I always comment back myself. You know, I've always done that and I always will. I'm not one of these huge channels where I can afford to not comment back, you know, or that I have that many people commenting that it's going to be too hard for us to comment back. So, guys, yeah, thanks very much for watching this all the way through. I really do appreciate it. I know it's another long one, but it's a thumbs up from me. I really do enjoy it. For the time being, this is the Bearded Nerdy Wolf, and I am out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Okay.